Hello everyone, thank you for attending the special quarantine edition of Vortex Cooling Systems Better Cooling for Gaming Computers presentation. Vortex Cooling Systems is going to develop a simpler, more powerful computer processing cooling unit to keep computers running faster and more efficiently. We're going to do that by directly liquid cooling the top of the computer processor, which will allow for faster heat removal. If we do that, Vortex Cooling Systems will be a leader in performance computer cooling. The problem here is that CPUs get really hot. It's a lot of energy in a very small space, and nowadays with advancements in computer processing architectures, really small gaps between these transistors and a lot of energy flowing through them. If you look on this graph to the right, we have numbers greater than 200 watts in a computer processor. It's a lot of energy that has to be dissipated into heat. So we need very powerful cooling systems that can get that out to keep those processors running efficiently. What is available to consumers who want to build their own gaming PC? Well, they have two options. They're going to go with an air cooler or a liquid cooler. By and large, liquid coolers are going to perform better than air because water can move heat faster, has a higher capacitance and conductivity than air does. So liquid coolers are going to do better. Each of these and all products, I chose these two specifically, but all PC coolers that you can buy online right now without a custom service utilize this base right here that bonds to the computer processor by means of thermal paste. So that heat has to get through the paste and then through this copper plate and then be convected away. And it's slow and I want to speed it up. So Vortex's solution is to remove those heat barriers, which will allow heat to get out faster, get convected away faster, which will lower the CPU temperature, which will increase the performance of gaming PCs. So I keep saying remove thermal barriers, but here's a visual of it. On the top half of this slide, we have every competitor. This is every competitor, no matter if it's an air cooler or a liquid cooler. This is what they use. So the CPU on the top right here is going to generate heat, then it's going to have to get through that thermal paste, get through that copper plate, and then be convected away. So what I want to do with Vortex's solution is you get this CPU right here that generates heat, and then it's going to go straight up into that water, get convected away fast. Initial calculations that I did show that it can increase performance of 56%. That's massive compared to a water cooler, compared to the indirect method. So what did I actually create? I was really excited to be there in person and pass around this prototype, but I hope you can settle for a picture. So this is one that I made in my shop, and it installed in a quicker time than competitors using very simple methods. It would be very easy for a consumer to pick up and install if they could install any other cooling system that could do this. It's been on my computer for 2 months now. It's had no issues. It looks cool. It's a big chunk of aluminum. It just looks neat. And most importantly, it keeps my CPU much cooler. So how does Vortex stack up against competitors? Well, I chose the other two because I've owned them and I've tested them. So comparing directly to these, in a stress test on the same computer, same program, same everything, the prototype that I made kept my CPU 9 degrees cooler. That's significant. That's a great margin. The air cooler was nowhere close. The indirect method was okay. Mine kept it way cooler with the exact same conditions. And then I took the base apart of this liquid cooler because I was curious how many parts they had in it, and I was staggered to find out that they have 15 parts. That's a lot of manufacturing that has to go into that. Whereas mine is just the aluminum piece and an O-ring. The production model would have 2 O-rings though. So what about if this product leaks? It's an open system full of water in a computer. That is a very fair question. I hear you all asking me this, and I've gotten this question asked many times already. So I'm excited to solve this problem. What we're going to do is create a clear set of installation instructions that the consumer can follow with clear warnings indicated so they know it's a big deal. I want to reiterate that this is not any more difficult to install than the other competitors' cooling systems. It's just important they follow the steps to install it correctly. During installation, we would also have them perform a simple air leak test. That way, if there was a leak, they would be able to catch it with air, which would not damage anything before they filled it with water and found out that way. Like I mentioned on the last slide, we provide additional O-rings, not only in the production model having a 2 O-ring layer that in case one failed, another one would always be there, but We would also package like 2 spares so that if one was damaged during packaging or shipping or unpackaging, they would be able to swap it out with the undamaged one. And also, since it's a consumer product with liability, we would be a limited liability corporation. So I'd also like to point out this picture on the right here is the competitor's cooling block that I took apart. Not only did it have 15 parts, but they also only had 1 O-ring. So that's single point failure, and the consumer doesn't see that because they normally don't take this apart, so it's sort of like an ignorance is bliss type of thing. But that's single point failure, and my production model would utilize 2 O-rings. So what is the market potential? Like, how many people are building their own gaming computers? Well, according to Wallracks, in 2018, 3 million people built their own gaming PC, just in the US. That's a lot. There's a lot of gaming computers that are always coming online. Each one needs its own CPU processor to cool it down. So assuming they only want the CPU processor and not a graphics card cooling system as well, that's $100 per cooling system. That makes a market cap of over $300 million just in the US. That's awesome. How are we going to tell people about Vortex cooling systems and what we created? Well, in the short term, we're going to utilize as much free advertising as we can by posting on Reddit and Imager and talk about our product on the relevant subreddits. We're going to reach out to influencers on YouTube, such as Linus Tech Tips and PC Mag, and ask them for product reviews in exchange for a video. We're going to create a website and a YouTube channel about Vortex cooling systems, talk about our product, talk about what we can do, and also have like a playlist for installation so people can see exactly what they'll be getting into. We'll get listed on Amazon and Newegg and Tiger Direct, the latter two being very popular PC component dealers. And that's in addition to our website, that will be where our sales come from. Providing in sales incentives for product reviews is one that I haven't fully thought out, but I enjoy the idea of. I want newer people, newer adopters of the product to be incentivized to provide a review for the product, because I know I shop with reviews a lot. They basically dictate what I buy, so I value those reviews heavily. In long-term growth, we'll create brick-and-mortar packaging and try to get into the local Best Buys and Micro Centers, increase our production rate, maybe provide a professional installation service where people send their motherboard and processor into us and we put it on for an additional fee. And then if we see stagnation growing in our business, we would advertise on Google if necessary, and other online methods of advertising. So what would I do with the prize money if I won? Well, it's mostly all capital expenditures, and on the left side you can see a parts breakdown in the costs, which includes shipping for everything I need that would create a complete product. On the top you can see the CPU cooler is exactly what I've been talking about making. That's what I would create in-house. Everything else would have to be outsourced. As you can see, the radiator and the reservoir and pump are kind of big ticket items, and I can't get around those costs right now, but eventually in the future that would be the first place I would look at improving profit margins. So inflated for any unforeseen expenses, the cost for 100 units is $5,000. On the right side of your screen, you can see a CNC mill, which is the piece of equipment I would use to create all these CPU coolers. It's about $17,000, and that's spec'd to exactly how I would use it, and that includes shipping to my house. The lease and labor are zero because I'm fortunate enough to not need extra space. I have the space to create this business and run it out of my property. LLC license fees in Missouri are $50, which creates still about $17,000 for equipment and other expenses other than the product itself. So minimum capital to start is $22,000 roughly. So why me? Well, I'm a senior mechanical engineering student right now. I graduate in May with my bachelor's, so I'll understand how to do the math on this to make sure that the product won't fail. I'm going to continue on and get my master's in thermal and fluid sciences. Right now I'm a lead researcher for a liquid cooling system design for high power applications. That's literally what I'm doing right now, is creating cooling systems. I'm a fellow gamer, I've built my own PC, and I love tinkering on stuff, and I'm an aspiring business owner. I want to be my own boss, and this is something I'm passionate about. So, Thank you all very much for listening. I was really excited to do this in person and hear your questions. Please, if you have any, do not hesitate to email me. I will love answering them. I will love your input as well. So thank you all very much.